Alright, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a new episode of the Yes Mod. We are here for the final weekly shows leading into Money in the Bank. We, on Raw, don't have much pre-booked. I don't think we have anything. I think we have one match, actually. One match pre-booked for SmackDown. The matches we have for Raw are just Fandango versus Truth, and The Shield versus Bobby Roode, Zack Ryder, and Orton. Just some, I think I explained in the last video, just kind of some generic hype for Money in the Bank matches. Like the actual Money in the Bank ladder matches, that is. Not really much else to talk about before I get into the shows, so let's get, actually, I need to switch the region. I'm not going to run where haven't we gone? The Midwest. Alright, we'll go to the Midwest. Okay, so we open the show with Mark Henry holding the show hostage. He is completely petty and angry that he lost the match with Randy Orton, and he says he's not going anywhere until he gets justice served, and he's very vague, because I don't think he even knows what he wants. He just wants something given to him, because, I don't know, I guess he was in his head, oh, I beat Orton before, why this time it actually matters, even though last time it mattered. You know, it doesn't matter, and Triple H just comes out and he's like, alright, I can't have this shit happen again. Alright, fine. Henry, you're so lucky that I actually need a top talent right now to take on Daniel Bryan at Money in the Bank. And you know what? If you can win that match, then you'll also get it. It'll be just a number one contenders match, because I promised Daniel Bryan if he could win a match at Money in the Bank, I'd give him a match at SummerSlam. So you just happen to be at the right place at the right time, Henry. I just want you to know that this shit isn't gonna fly ever again. Either you know how to play your cards right, or you're just one of the most lucky motherfuckers. Oh, yeah, damn! I keep forgetting the gimmick that is supposed to be PG when I'm cutting promos. I don't know if you know how to play your cards perfectly right and wait for the moment to get opportunities given to you, or if you just happen to be one of the most lucky guys on the entire roster. But you got yourself a deal, Henry. Now get off of my get out of my ring. Alright, so that is the final Raw. Oh, I do have... Oh, that's right. I forgot about this one. Okay, nice. We have 9 matches I'm going to pre-book for Money in the Bank. Is Daniel Bryan more over? Oh, Daniel Bryan is more over. Okay, nice. Number 1 contenders match. Boom. Alright, that's all the Raw matches pre-booked. We still have one more SmackDown match that needs to be pre-booked, I believe. I could be wrong. I don't think I'm wrong, I just can't remember what it is. But that got a 75, and we open the show with a women's match where Nikki Bella beats Natalya because they're in a program and Natalya isn't. They can do the twin magic, they can do whatever, basically they cheat to win because they're the Bella twins. And, yeah, that got a 50. After the match, AJ Lee got some fucking banger promo, oh my god. AJ Lee and Mickie James come out and say, you want to prove your worth? Neither of us feel like you deserve to be in this title match, but if you want to prove your worth, meet us on SmackDown for a tag team match. AJ Lee and Mickie James will team once again on Friday Night SmackDown to take on the Bella Twins. Alright. Following that, we have Drew McIntyre, Heath Slater, and Jinder Mahal. The 3MB are backstage, and Heath and Jinder are just kind of ignoring Drew walking out, but Drew's not. He's like, guys, it's over for me. I'm not doing this shit anymore. God damn it, I keep forgetting. I can't swear. I'm not doing this anymore. This band is stupid. It's ruined my career. I've lost all the momentum I had going on for myself. I'm a complete joke right now. I need to reinvent myself. Alright? I quit the band, and I never want to see your two faces ever again. And he's like, but wait, Drew, I got a match. I got a match against Daniel Bryan. It's the biggest match of the year for me. I need you to be there. And Drew just says, I don't care. You're gonna lose anyway. Nobody thinks you're gonna win. You have no chance. None of us have any chance of winning at this rate. You two need to take wrestling a little more seriously. You can have fun. I'm not saying you can't have fun, but you can't be a laughingstock. And that's one thing that we've become, and I have become, that I won't let myself be anymore, is a god dang laughingstock. I saved it there. I almost swore again. 51, Drew officially quits 3MB, and Heath Slater gets carried to an almost 80 match by Daniel Bryan, because Daniel Bryan's fucking amazing. And to nobody's surprise, Heath Slater ends up losing. Match goes 8 minutes long. And after the match, Daniel Bryan just cuts another big babyface promo, just like, oh, I'll go through hell and back to win the championship and all. I really just did this match to see how good Daniel Bryan's promos are at. Or sorry, this angle. I only did this angle really to see how good Daniel Bryan's promos are at. So he gets an 81. Then we have another... I'm doing a lot of test promos on this show. I like to, once a month, throw out a bunch of test promos to see where people are at. So, Shield did a nice 78 here. They're just hyping up the main event here. You know, just like fucking Zack Ryder's stupid, and Randy Orton's dumb, and Bobby Roode's ugly. 59 for Fandango with R-Truth. R-Truth picks up the victory. I was going to have Fandango win. I was originally going to have Cesaro cost R-Truth this match. But R-Truth's just too over to lose right now. I don't have any plans per se to push R-Truth, but 53 to 40s and 39s is just, it's not worth it. So what I've done is I had R-Truth win that match, and The Miz was at ringside with R-Truth, but Alex Riley wasn't. And Antonio Cesaro takes advantage of that by beating the shit out of Alex Riley backstage and displaying it on the Tron for the world to see following Truth's victory. Truth and Miz rush to the back, but it's already too late for Riley. 70 to... It's, again, test promo, by the way. This whole show is kind of riddled with test promos. It's half because I want to see where people's promos are at, and half because I'm not good with booking go-home shows. Mostly everything's pre-booked. I have nothing to really grip onto and creatively book. So the babyfaces cut their promo, and it does significantly worse than the Shield. We then have Ryback in the ring, just kind of taunting, flaunting the fact that he wrecked Kofi Kingston on the last show, and he's interrupted by Brodus Clay and Sweet Tea, who are just kind of like, they call him out for being a coward. He's like, you carry yourself as this huge destroying monster, but you always have to resort to underhanded tactics like you're nothing, and you're pathetic. And Ryback's like, you want to talk about pathetic, Sweet Tea? You're the one who's pathetic, dancing around in your fucking singlet and thong, thinking you're appealing to anybody. And whatever, these two have a match. It gets a 60. I threw this match together because I just kind of realized that A-Train, or Sweet, I'm not calling him Sweet, A-Train has like 50 pop, and it's like, damn, where the hell did that all come from? Because that's sure not from my booking. So this is kind of a test match for Sweet. Fuck, dude, I hate this gimmick so much. This is a test match for A-Train to see where he's really at. and it gets a 60 when he has no momentum and he's facing Ryback. So that's impressive, if you ask me. What's also impressive is Ryback hit the shell shock on him. And after the match, Kofi Kingston comes out, so Ryback can't really jump these two. He doesn't really make the save per se. Ryback's just like, this isn't worth the fight. But yeah, Kofi Kingston comes out, Ryback leaves, but he still kind of makes note, like, dude, fucking God, I hate this gimmick. Sweet Tea, you used to be something, buddy. I saw your work in Japan. That was impressive. This is not. Just kind of maybe planting the seeds for a future return to A-Train, or maybe a run as Giant Bernard in the WWE. So Ryback just calling out Sweet Tea for being fucking Sweet Tea. And next up, John Cena confronts Mark Henry backstage. He's just calling him out for being a loser. Like, really, Henry? You're the Hall of Pain guy. The Hall of Pain guy has to come out at the opening of the show and whine and cry that he doesn't have a match at Money in the Bank. That's really intimidating there, Henry. And Mark's just like, I don't care what you think. I do what I have to do to get what I need, to get what I want. All right? Whether that makes my character look a little funny in the light, I don't care. And John Cena's like, okay, yeah, and you do look funny in the light. Your character does look funny in the light because you're a fraud. Ever since you stopped taking people out with chairs and ruining careers, you've become a fraud. You built up that reputation by actually being a destructive monster, and now you're not. Main event, 74, the Shield beat the baby faces. The Shield, in this timeline, they have had their first loss by now, but that's their only loss, is the one they had to Team Hell No and Bobby Roode. So I want to keep the momentum going for the Shield. They only got one loss on their record, and they win this match here. 17 minutes. Dean Ambrose pins Zack Ryder. They still cheat to win. I did tame to finish. It's not necessarily a handful of tights. They just cheat to win. And then after the match, they do a triple powerbomb on Randy Orton through the announcer's table, taking him out. 79 for that. We end Raw with the Shield standing tall. And the show gets an 84. Pretty good. Pretty good stuff. Yeah, I mean, not really much to talk about on this show because a lot of these were me just dipping my toes in the water to see where people's promo abilities are at. And NXT won't be like that, but SmackDown will probably be more of the same of this. So I keep, my hands won't stay still. So sorry if you heard, knocking. That was me on my desk. But yeah, that was Raw, and it's now time for... Ow, fuck! I do this every time. Fuck, that hurt. I hit my desk. I hit my elbow on my desk. Now it's time for NXT, the only show that I have actually pre-booked the build for in the month of June, July, that build, because I hit one of the worst writer's blocks of my YouTube career of all time, really, booking Raw and SmackDown with this mod because the roster's so barren, and without being able to call up the guys from NXT that you want to, you can't really do much with the roster because nobody's over, and it's been really hard to book storylines without seeing the stats, so I just didn't for the build to Money in the Bank, and it went well for a little bit, and then I feel like these past two shows have just been going through the motions, like the past Raw and SmackDown. I already recorded SmackDown, by the way. I say this every video. But yeah, either that's just because it's a go-home show and I'm not good with go-home shows, or I just need to start writing them again. But yeah, we have a more than booked out show for this NXT. Ignore the Super Tuesday booking. We have Dawkins and Jordan versus Corbin and Mojo. Winner gets added to the tag title match. We have two. I think there's still... No, this is round 2 by now. No, this one's round 1. This one's round 2. So the final round 1 match in the women's title tournament between Becky Lynch and Dakota Kai, and the first round 2 match in our main event, Sarah Del Rey versus Serena Deeb, the workhorse women, and then Corey Graves versus Tyler Breeze, as Tyler Breeze interrupted Corey Graves' promo, and he challenged him to a match pretty much. Yeah, without much else to say, I actually do have an angle written. I wrote out an angle in the build to this show, the only one in quite some time, and I actually really remember liking it. So we're both gonna kind of have a blind reaction as I read it. So yeah, let's get into the show. So NXT opens with Tonga Loa immediately storming to the ring and demanding to see Tyson Kidd. Tonga calls him a coward for no-showing the previous week's episode, even though he was just kind of injured. And Tyson Kidd does come out this week. He is here this week, but he's got a bandage around his shoulder. Tyson Kidd says, "You know, Tonga, I didn't choose to miss last week's show, but when your opponent destroys your shoulder with a steel pipe, the doctors, they kind of won't let you come into work." Tonga interrupts him and tells Tyson that if he doesn't give him his title match, he's going to have to do things, quote-unquote, the hard way. Kidd responds with, "Tonga, despite the fact you haven't really done anything to earn a title match, I'm going to give it to you anyway. I've already talked to Regal, and it's going to be set for Super Tuesday number 2. Tonga says, "Good choice, Tyson. I look forward to taking your belt." Tonga Loa begins to walk away, but right before he leaves the ring, Tyson Kidd stops him and begins to talk again. He says, "I know you're hungry, Tonga, but don't think this match is going to be easy. I didn't get you this title match because I was scared of you, and I especially didn't get you this title match because I respect you in any form of the imagination." Tyson pauses, walks right up to Tonga Loa's face and says, "I got you this title match because you pissed me off, and I can't wait to kick your ass." Tyson Kidd then gives Tonga Loa a vicious headbutt before proceeding to lay in haymakers. Kidd is about to lock in the sharpshooter. He gets the legs wrapped. He's turning over, but Tonga Loa breaks free. He escapes, but Tyson ends the segment standing tall. 47 for that, as I move my phone out of the way because I had to pull up the Google Sheets on my phone to read it out. 17 rated match. This was a terrible match. Corbin and Mojo Rawley win the match and officially cement their name in the tag team title match. It only went 4 minutes because I pre-booked too much for this show. And then they do cheat to win. They do use the ropes for leverage this time. I don't have anything else in mind. But that is match number 2 set for NXT Super Tuesday 2. Pre-booked match. It's 2 versus 2 versus 2. Corbin and Mojo, British Ambition, and The Underground for the tag titles. After the match, The Underground come out, and they basically tell Corbin and Mojo, "You guys are completely in over your heads. You got no idea what you two are doing. Y'all are just going through the motions." And this pisses Mojo Rawley off, so he begins to jump Sylvester Lefort, kind of to the dismay of Baron Corbin. He really didn't want to fight, but now he's going to fight. And the two heel teams brawl in the ring as we cut backstage to see that Adrian Neville and Oliver Gray are just kind of like, alright, that's cool to see that we're going to have a title match, and we don't have to worry about the two heel teams tagging up on us. 39 rated segment, where Paige has had her problems with Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair since the beginning of the save. So she comes out to watch Becky Lynch's tournament match from the ring, or the ringside. And she's also doing it because the winner of this match will take her on in the next round. And oh my god, that Becky Lynch won. Wow, what a surprise. Becky Lynch will take on Paige next week in the women's title tournament. I keep hitting add to booking. Tournament match. It will be Becky versus Paige. Round 2 match. pre-booked. And the segment gets a 35. Following that, the story of that match was kind of like Becky Lynch was, she knew Paige was at ringside, obviously, so she begins to start, like, taunting her during the match, and that gives Dakota Kai quite a few close near falls, but Becky Lynch, in the end, always managed to come out on top just because she's got more experience. And Becky Lynch then, after the match, from the ring, begins to yell insults at Paige, prompting Paige to rush the ring and Becky Lynch to rush out of the ring, and it gets a 36. Another 36 where we cut backstage to see Alexander Rusev leaving a locker room kind of out of breath and a little sweaty, and he leaves the room, and the camera then pans into the room, and Luchasaurus is laid out on the ground. This is the business that Rusev was talking about that he quote-unquote needed to take care of. So 36, Corey Graves versus Tyler Breeze goes 10 minutes and 4 seconds when Graves locks in the Lucky 13 and gets the submission victory. Gets a nice 44, but the real story is after the match when Derek Bateman comes out, lays out Corey Graves, grabs a microphone, crouches down, gets in his face, and just says, "Did you forget about me? Because I haven't forgotten about you." I said I wouldn't do too many test promos on NXT, but I guess I already pre-booked one, and I'm going to use it as I don't remember exactly what Sami Zayn's promo on Cassius Ohno was supposed to be, but I'm going to use it as a Sami Zayn test promo to see how well his ratings are going to do, and it's doing really fucking well. Sami Zayn's really good. Wow. Alright, so that got a 71, and in our main event, Sarah Del Rey versus Serena Deeb gets a 49. Sarah Del Rey breaks the 50s. Good shit. Goes 15 minutes, 3 seconds. Sarah Del Rey comes out on top and advances, I believe, to the finals, actually. Let me double check. I don't know where it's located on the sheet. Fucking where is it? How did I lose? There it is. Okay. Yes, Sarah Del Rey does advance to the finals here. First woman in the three-way finals. So yeah, and then following that, we get a standard angle where Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch, who've had problems with Sarah Del Rey since she debuted here in NXT, come out and look to jump Sarah, but they are saved. She is saved by Charlotte and Becky's opponents in the tournament, and I don't think I explicitly said that, but yes, Becky Lynch and Paige, not Becky Lynch and Paige, Charlotte and Emma is officially set for the next round. I believe there might actually be a couple of Super Tuesday matches I needed to pre-book here. I never pre-booked the NXT title match. So there's that. What else do we have? So yeah, there's one match that I haven't set up yet, and the women's final, the tournament final, are the only things that I haven't pre-booked. 54, we gain popularity everywhere because it's NXT and it's hard not to. Much better than the last show. So, that's it for NXT. Alright, it's now time for SmackDown. We have 3 matches pre-booked now. Previously 2. We set up the women's match on Raw. We have Evan Bourne versus Ezekiel Jackson for the Intercontinental Championship, as Evan promised to be a fighting champion and gave his friend Big Zeke a title match out of respect for not turning on him at Payback. We have the Triad, I believe, making their tag team debut tonight against RVD and Ted Jr., 2 guys who they were kind of in crosshairs with the Money in the Bank qualifier matches. And then, of course, the match that we set up earlier in this video, the Bella Twins versus Mickie James and AJ Lee. Last time they Mickie James and AJ Lee teamed up, they were feuding, and they still won, so the odds are really in their favor going into tonight. So yeah, let's get into the show. I'll preface this episode again by saying there are a lot of test angles on this show, so NXT is probably going to be by far the most interesting actual show of this episode, but let's get into it. We open with Chris Jericho just kind of getting his words out. He's like, Payback, I won a match, and I was promised a world title match. And within 3 weeks, 2 guys have weaseled and unearned their way into my title match. What kind of BS is this? What kind of booking is this guy? You know what I mean. Basically, Jericho's just pissed that the match that he earned was turned into a 4-way because of 2 guys, Sheamus and Wade Barrett, who really didn't do anything to get into the world title match. And eventually Del Rio, who's just been making enemies left and right on the show, comes out and interrupts him for whining, which is the most ironic thing of all time. And Jericho's like, dude, you want to keep getting in my face, meet me in the ring later tonight. We can run back that pay-per-view match, and I guarantee you the same outcome's going to occur. Nice 88 for Jericho there. We open with Titus versus The Big Show. Goes about 7 minutes long. Just, I guess, Big Show's first match back since Extreme Rules. Yeah, nice 58 there. And then following the match, Paul Heyman comes out to just kind of continue to taunt Big Show, and Big Show's finally had enough. He's like, all right, Paul, you can keep coming out here and talking garbage about me all you want, but the guy that you're backing up, I literally haven't seen his face in a long time. Where is Brock? And Paul's like, Brock doesn't want to waste his time with you. And then Big Show's like, make him. And Paul's like, no, I think I'll keep talking to you. And Big Show then picks him up by his collared shirt, and he's like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Next time I see your face, it better be with Brock. And he throws him to the ground. So Big Show's sick of Paul Heyman, and he wants to see Brock Lesnar. We then have Wade Barrett being a hypocrite backstage. Sheamus got added to the 4-way last week, and Wade Barrett's coming up to Sheamus now and being like, you didn't earn this title match. And Sheamus is like, are you fucking kidding me? This is Wade Barrett's test promo, and yes, he's still a goddamn god tier promo. For whatever reason, I'm just having insane RNG luck with Wade Barrett in this save. So, yeah, 90 rated segment there. Scorpio Sky and Christopher Daniels defeat Ted Jr. and Rob Van Dam, following interference from Xavier Woods. I really didn't want RVD to lose this match, but I felt it was more important that the Triad actually win their debut match, or their tag team debut match. Even if it's not their debut match, it's one of their first matches, so I don't really want to kill the momentum of this stable right after I built it. And after the match, the heels all scurry away, and Rob Van Dam just kind of leaves him with a note. He's like, you're going to fucking pay at that. Come Money in the Bank, I'm going to make sure you realize how much you regretted beating me and cheating to win and all that jazz. 84, this is Dolph Ziggler's kind of promo here. He does pretty well. He's just kind of like, Jericho can complain all he wants, but that's the difference between me and him, is that I'm confident in my ability to go through no matter what, pull through, no matter what obstacles come in my way. 1 guy, or 4 guys, or 8 guys, I'm going to come out on top with the World Heavyweight Championship. We have our Intercontinental Championship match here, where Evan Bourne retains, makes defense number 2. He wins in about 10 minutes, and yeah, Jackson loses, and he seems kind of pissed after the match. I don't know if pissed at Evan Bourne, maybe just pissed at himself. But Evan Bourne is in the Money in the Bank ladder match, and that's going to make him a target for the heels in that match, as Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter run from the crowd and jump him after Big Z exits the ring. And Big Zeke starts to hear what's going on. He turns back, and he has just a very slight moment of hesitation, like, should I go back, or am I going to be a petty asshole? And he decides in his head, I've got no reason to be a petty asshole. He didn't cheat to win. He didn't screw me over. He gave me the opportunity, and I just couldn't pull through. So Big Zeke runs back in, makes the save, and Evan Bourne and Ezekiel Jackson do a handshake, and it's really going to seem like this is it for Jackson in this storyline. Evan Bourne's going to move on, and Jackson's probably not going to do much from now on. So this is Jackson and Bourne kind of parting ways, like, hey, thanks for all your help, and thanks for the title match. 71, last week, Del Rio promised Kane that he would pay for interrupting his promo, and here it is. Ricardo Rodriguez just kind of camps out Kane backstage and takes out his knee with a crowbar before Del Rio just begins to start doing a ground and pound and start beating down Kane after Ricardo took out his fucking kneecap. 71, Bella Twins versus Mickie James and AJ Lee goes about 15 minutes long, and they once again use the twin magic. I did tainted finish. They don't use the ropes for leverage. They do the twin magic and are able to score the victory over Mickie James and AJ Lee, some of the hottest workers in the women's division right now. Oh man, I can't use those terms with women. Woof. You know what I meant though. They have the most momentum in the women's division, and the Bella Twins were able to come out on top thanks to being cheating dicks. 65 for that. And we are then backstage. Shawn Michaels is in his office when Sandow and Cody Rhodes come in through the door, and Michaels lets out an audible groan before going like, all right, what can I do for you, Sandow? And Sandow's like, I actually started reading up. I got into a little reading here, as I do very often because I'm a smart man, and I just read something in the contracts that we have, and it said something along the lines of like, once a match is promoted for a pay-per-view event, if both competitors are still physically able to compete, then the match must continue. And unless the GM says otherwise. And I don't remember you, Sean, specifically, explicitly saying that me and Cody Rhodes' tag title match wouldn't be held at Money in the Bank anymore. But I do very vividly remember you saying it would happen. So, I mean, I just... And Michaels is like, are you fucking... God damn. Fine, Sandow, you got me. I haven't read up on all the rules of being a general manager yet. I just got the promotion, dude. Can you... Fine. You know what? If the match is promoted for Money in the Bank and I didn't explicitly say it's off the show, you can still have your Weasel title match. I'm sure you're gonna win this time, buddy. So Sandow manages to find a loophole in the WWE system here to get himself his tag team title rematch set for Money in the Bank. So we will run the match back thanks to Give It Up for Technicalities. And now we have our full Money in the Bank show pre-booked here. 72 for that. We then cut to the ring where Paul Heyman is in the ring just saying the most foul shit, like, no wonder your dad's dead, Big Show. You can't do anything anymore. You're old, you're fat, you're slow, you're pathetic. Nobody wants to watch the Big Show. You put your hands on me, I'll sue you for everything you're worth. And then, you know, probably the dead dad line's what got him to come out. But Big Show storms out of the ring, storms out of the back, and he comes and he rushes Paul Heyman, and he's like, Paul's just like, Big Show, be careful what you wish for. I knew you wouldn't come out without a proper cause, but you wanted to meet Brock, didn't you? Well, here he is, and Brock comes the music doesn't even start, and Brock's rushing down from the ramp, and he jumps Big Show, and the two have a big fucking hoss fight in the ring, and it's just clobbering blows. German suplexes, body slams, and all that shit. 84 for that. And in our main event, we run it back. Alberto Del Rio versus Chris Jericho, and history repeats itself when Jericho defeats Del Rio in 21:43 with a code breaker. I did the decisive finish because what ends up happening is Ricardo is at the ringside, and underneath the ring, he has the crowbar or the pipe or whatever he used to take out Kane's knee, and he's about to slide it in the ring while the ref's distracted until Kane comes walking out from the back, and Ricardo sees it, and Kane chases Ricardo to the back. Ricardo's not able to slide the item into the ring. Kane gets the last laugh on Del Rio. This causes Jericho to hit the code breaker and get the pinfall victory. Main event kind of didn't do too well, but the main event angle definitely did amazing, as it's just a big fucking brawl. My favorite angle, the easiest angle to book. You just put all the guys in the main event in the angle, and you run it, and you say it's a brawl, and it gets a 97. SmackDown has a very good chance of actually beating Raw for once. So let's see. It doesn't. How does it not? How? How did this show do worse? Oh my god. We're going to go ahead and advance the day to take an actual look at that Raw show to see how on earth that Raw show did better. But SmackDown did not disappoint this time, which is very surprising. The main event kind of disappointed. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the main event was just so much worse. Then I don't remember it being that much worse, though. I mean, it's 4 points worse? How the fuck? We had 90, 97. I don't know. I don't know how they determine the ratings. Because, yeah, 99, but then the next one was an 81, right? Is it because John Cena was on the show? Is that the only reason? I don't get it. I really don't. Quite upsetting. But let's do a rundown of our Money in the Bank match card. In no particular order, we have number one contenders match. Winner faces John Cena at SummerSlam for the WWE Championship. Mark Henry versus Daniel Bryan. Grudge match between Antonio Cesaro and The Miz. Grudge rematch in a steel cage between Big Show and Brock Lesnar. Fatal 4-way ladder match for the Divas Championship between Brie Bella, Mickie James, Nikki Bella, and the champ AJ Lee. Regular Fatal 4-way for the World Heavyweight Championship between Chris Jericho, Sheamus, Wade Barrett, and Dolph Ziggler. The Raw Money in the Bank match, which consists of Bobby Roode, Fandango, Dean Ambrose, R-Truth, Randy Orton, and Zack Ryder. United States Championship match, Ryback versus Kofi Kingston. SmackDown Money in the Bank match, which consists of Alberto Del Rio, Christopher Daniels, Intercontinental Champion Evan Bourne, Jack Swagger, Kane, and Rob Van Dam, and the Loophole title rematch for the Unified Tag Team Championships. Team Rhodes Scholars, Damian Sandow and Cody Rhodes take on Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins of The Shield. So that is our match card for Money in the Bank. I hope you all are excited to see what I do with Money in the Bank, because I am a huge proponent of, if you win Money in the Bank, you have a very, very, very good chance of winning the world title because of it. If you guys want to, I'd love to know who you think is winning the Money in the Bank ladder matches. If you want to leave a comment telling me who you guys think's winning the Raw and SmackDown Money in the Bank ladder match. I'm not asking you to leave a comment to boost the stats, because I'm a TEW YouTuber. I don't give a shit about views and stuff. I really want to see who you guys think I would have go over those matches. So, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you're all excited for motherfucking Money in the Bank 2013.